So if you want to get anywhere, just anywhere in web development, you have to know how to um, ignore the noise. There's a lot of things that are trying to get your attention. There's a lot of new frameworks every day. There's a lot of new technologies, um, new ways to do things, new snippets to do things, more efficient ways to do things. There's just a whole market of things out there. There's new framework popping up every day. That doesn't mean you gotta learn all that. You have to make sure that you stick to your game plan. If you have picked a framework, if you have picked a technology language, if you're learning CSS, just make sure you stick to CSS for some time, right? Do not just look out there. CSS is too boring. Nobody's using CSS. Everyone says CSS is too slow when they're in production. Uh, Sorry, when they're building sites for production. Maybe it is the case. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it just slows them down because um, the 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 size of the project is just too big to be using plain CSS. Maybe they need an additional framework. But you stick to your game plan. Do not just get sold to start using something else straight away. Get some experience. Stick to your game plan. If you want to learn CSS, fine. Learn that for a couple of months. Learn that for a year. Build a couple of sites, HTML, CSS. Make them as nice as you can, but don't for sake of yourself start learning anything that's out there. People are using React because of XYZ. People are using this library because of XYZ. um, you find the other guy who's using something else, and all of a sudden there's everyone who's using different technology, and then the hype is going in certain direction. Do not follow that hype. If you follow that hype, then you're gonna end up in a not in a very nice place, because you're following that hype because it's hyped up, not because you're making your own wise decision. Not You're not doing your own research. You're not going to a job site. You're not speaking to employers. What's hot in the market at the moment? Right? Anything new comes up and it's trendy, do not just jump on bandwagon and start using it. Stick to what you decided you would do. Spend some time. You're gonna get bored, obviously, but that's fine. You're gonna be in a much better place than other people who jump ships every other day. Like today you're using X, tomorrow you're using something else because X does not solve your problem. Well, as a beginner, you can't do that. You have to stick to fundamentals, and that is gonna be the main thing when you speak to employer. Then they can gauge your experience very quickly based on that. But if you're use 10 frameworks, you build 10 different websites, they're not going to be complex enough uh, to be to even be judged. They're going to be simple sites, because uh, each time you pick a framework, you rebuild a site from step one. You're never going into that complexity. You could build a site in CSS to start today and finish in the next 3 months. Imagine how complex that site's going to be, right? Versus uh, just building a new site just for sake of new frameworks. You do not do that as a junior developer, or if you're just starting off. Just ignore the hype on Twitter, ignore the hype on YouTube. Stick to fundamentals, and I don't need to tell you what fundamentals are, right? They are boring, um, way more boring than any of the frameworks, and how frameworks are sold, how things can be done so quickly. Yeah, they can be done so quickly, but they are being sold to everyone, right? They should be targeted uh, more towards people who are experienced and they are in building serious code for production environment, not for someone who's just learning. So if you're learning, stick to basic stuff. Ignore the noise. Just grind.